There is a peculiar quiet that settles over a household right before a financial collapse. Not the household's finances collapsing, but the moment when a person looks at their spending and decides, almost unconsciously, that the discomfort of confronting the number is worse than the discomfort of ignoring it, and so they choose the ignoring. And this single choice, repeated across millions of individual minds, is the seed from which every recorded financial collapse in history has grown. It is not a story about markets or interest rates or bad luck. It is a story about a specific human tendency to trade a small manageable pain today for a much larger unmanageable pain later, simply because the later pain feels abstract and the present pain feels immediate. Economists have a term for this: temporal discounting, the mind's tendency to undervalue future consequences relative to present comfort. And while the term sounds clinical, its effects are anything but, because this single bias explains credit card debt spirals, housing bubbles, corporate overleveraging, and entire national debt crises, all built from the same psychological brick. The mathematics of it are almost deceptively simple. A person who spends 10% more than they earn each month is not in a crisis in month 1 or month 6 or even month 18. The debt grows quietly, compounding at whatever interest rate governs it. And because the early numbers are small, the mind files the behavior under manageable, and this filing error is precisely what allows the debt to grow past the point of easy correction, before the person even registers the shift. Zoom outward and the same pattern repeats at every scale. Banks that extended credit against assets they quietly knew were overvalued, governments that financed short-term political comfort with long-term structural debt, entire industries that grew accustomed to easy financing and treated it as permanent rather than conditional. None of these were failures of intelligence. They were failures of a species built to prioritize the visible present over the invisible future. What changes a person's trajectory is rarely a single dramatic decision. It is usually the much quieter act of learning to notice the early, boring, unremarkable warning signs before they compound into something loud, and treating financial awareness not as an emergency response but as an ongoing practice woven into ordinary decision-making. Understanding this pattern will not shield anyone from every future difficulty, and it makes no promise of ease or certainty. But it does offer something more durable: the ability to recognize the moment the mind wants to look away, and to choose, instead, to look closer.